Parallel by Colin Campbell. Prologue. An underground station in London. The tall young woman walked down the platform and then stopped. It was 6 o'clock in the evening, and there were a lot of people waiting for the train. A man in black suit walked down the platform and stopped 2 or 3 meters from the woman. A train came into the station. The woman turned and looked at it. The man came and stood behind her. He put his hand on her back. She turned and looked at him. There was a question on her face. Her mouth and eyes opened wide. He pushed her hat. He heard nothing, only the train. The woman fell in front of it. Chapter 1. The first phone call. 3 years later, the young woman answered the phone. Julie, it was her father. Dad, where are you? I'm outside the station. I'm going to get him. Now? Yes. Dad, are we doing the right thing? Is this right? Julie, we talked about this. I know, but now I'm just not sure this is the right thing. Remember our conversation, Julie. We made our decision. We have to do this. Chapter 2. A visitor. It was late and it was getting dark. Max sat in the bedroom of his flat. He lived in London and the noise of cars outside never stopped. But now he didn't hear the noise. He sat on his bed. There was a gun on the bed beside him. The gun was still warm. Max's face was very white and he didn't feel well. He never felt well after he killed someone. He sat in the dark flat with his head against the wall. His eyes were closed, but then slowly he opened them. Someone was outside his flat. He didn't hear anything, but he knew. He knew someone was there. He stood up and took the gun from the bed. He walked to the window and looked out. Cars went by. He saw a white car. It was a police car, but it didn't stop. There weren't many street lights, and it was dark now. But he could see there was no one in the street. No policeman. No one. He listened. There was still no noise, but someone was there. He knew it. Some things he always knew. He walked to the door. There was a small television above the door and he looked up at it. There was a man outside his front door, a tall man in an expensive suit. Max could see the man's face very well, but he didn't know him. Max put the gun in the back of his trousers and opened the door. Max Holland? Yes. My name's Gerald Fairhead. Can we talk? What about? I've got a job for you, Max. I'm not looking for work, Mr. Fairhead. I can give you a lot of money. I don't need money, Mr. Fairhead. Good night. Max started to close the door. The man put his hand on the door. I've got something else for you, the man said. Some photographs. Some very interesting photographs for you. Photographs for what? The man moved his hand towards his pocket. Max hit him. He hit him once. He hit him hard. Just below the chin, the man fell to the floor. Chapter 3. Photographs. Max stood for a minute and listened. There was no noise. He brought Fairhead into the flat and closed the door. Fairhead didn't move. Max put his hand in the man's pocket. There was no gun, but he felt something. He took out some photographs and walked to the window. He turned on a light and looked at one of the photographs. It was a photograph of a priest standing outside a church. He looked at a second photograph and then a third and then a fourth. The same man was in all the photographs. Max looked carefully at the priest's face. Then he quickly looked at all the photographs again. Fairhead started to move. Max turned to look at him. Fairhead sat up slowly and started to speak. Why? Why did you? He didn't finish the question. Max spoke. I thought you had a gun in your pocket, but you didn't. I didn't know that. In my job, I have to be careful. Fairhead looked at the photographs in Max's hands. You found them, he said. What are these, Mr. Fairhead? Why did you come here? Why did you bring these photographs? Don't you know the face, Max? It's you. It's your face. What are you talking about? It's the other Max Holland. Max Holland, the press.